Hello guys, welcome back. Hamagami number 1 over here. If you don't know, I'm pretty sure there's a reason why he's called Tamagami number 1. If we look at his kit here, I want you to do some math for me, right? So, just damage reduction alone, he has 15 here. Per Daima ally attacking in the same turn, he gets plus 10. So let's say he has 2, that's 20, so he has 35. Starting from the 5th turn, he just changes key spheres. For 4 turns from the character's entry, he has 20%. So what does that bring us up to? That brings us up to 55. And before attacking, he has another 20% damage reduction. So what does that put him up to? That puts him up to 75. Wow. Unless I did my math wrong here. 15, 35, 50, 75. Yeah. So, this man essentially has 75% damage reduction before he gets hit. Is what I think, right? Does that not make him one of the better free-to-play characters that we've gotten recently? We'll be running him on this team. If you watched my summoning video, you would have saw a catastrophe, especially in accordance to this guy and this guy. So to explain how I got them, I'll just put an image up here, and then for one of them, you'll see which one. There was a certain animation I got. I'll put that up on the screen as well. Yeah, okay. We all saw that, and now we are going into a fight. Yes, we are going into a fight. To be honest, I think that, in all fairness, he looks like a very solid character, to say the least. Also, if you're up to this point somehow, tell me if you like this format where it's just, 80% me and 20% thing, or you want like the overlay with the card arts and I'm like a little rectangle in the screen, because I feel like some people don't like the way that it's laid out. But anyways, so he starts out with 320,000 defense. We do have Piccolo's support on this rotation. He just raised his defense, and now he is taking a super. EX super. Very nice to see. In all fairness, right, when people say that free-to-play characters in the past were like bits and bobs, which they were, it was a fair judgment to say that in recent times, Dokkan has really stepped up in terms of what they are doing with free-to-play characters, because it just provides so much more usability for, players like me who will get shafted because I am free to play. But what I'm saying is, good job Dokkan. Free to play players are living good with some of these most recent releases for free to play units. In all fairness though, you know, Vegeta intro. Off the 10th anniversary, with, you know, 3 characters and coming off the 10th anniversary with three units in part 1 and 3 units in part 2, right? And arguably being one of the best anniversaries of all time. Well, it basically is. Like, I don't think anyone's debating that. But being one of the best anniversaries of all time, and then leading into the next celebration with supposedly one of the more dull part 1s of all time, in all retrospect hasn't it's just how it is. Yeah, but as I was saying, coming off the 10th anniversary into the 11th anniversary part 1, the amount of content that's maybe, you know, missing within the part 1, like, okay, let's count up everything that we have in this part 1. So we've got in the Tamagamis, 4 stages, right? And then we got 2 special battles, we got a Goma fight, we got the mass character fight. Well, it's not really a fight, but you know. Okay, let's look at Tamagami number 2 here. This guy's arguably one of the better ones as well. Medium chance of evading. Per Daima, he has 10%, so 20. 4 turns he has another 20, so that's 40 plus. Medium is 40, so 80. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Daima Goku will get his 24 key, and Gloria will get 5. Yeah, but to be honest, I think the reason why people are riding this notion that the 11th anniversary, it is technically not one of the most engaging part 1s of all time, because who knows what they were thinking with nice EX Super. Who knows what they were thinking or planning when they decided to cut it into 2 parts instead of 3 parts, from what I've heard, but you know. In terms of just overall content and characters, maybe they could have rescheduled it a bit better, because you know, usually part 1 is to, I haven't seen a lot of like either and although we haven't seen as much hype surrounding, you know, Daima, right? The 2 units that had like sneak teasers, right, generated more hype than the entire anniversary has had so far, which really beckons the question of what Dokkan was trying to achieve here. Like, I'm not saying Dokkan makes bad decisions, right? Because when the Daima units came out, I said, hey, you know, the animations are like really source accurate to the anime. They did a good job animating them, although I did notice some flaws in Super Saiyan 4 Goku's 18 key when he doesn't get his EX Super. It does seem a bit lackluster, but you know, the way it just ends off with that little small explosion. But you know, it's just, yeah, it's the small nitpicks. Like the way it ends, he just like chucks them into the ground, and it's like a bit anticlimactic. But you know, I'm not complaining about this one. This one looks fine, right? But it really questions people in the fact that, hey, what is Dokkan's plan? Because sure, with the 9th anniversary, right, you may say part 2 may be more peak than part 1, but there was the fact that part 1 was still generating tons of hype. Like, they brought in Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta and what do they call him? Super Broly? I guess that's his name. Super Broly. Those two generated enough hype to like fuel the entire part 1. Like, even if you were like, oh, you know, there's not much to do, people saw, which was not the case, by the way. The 9th anniversary had a lot of content. Well, not a lot, but it had sufficient enough content for part 1, and I guess that's why people didn't complain much, because the unit selection for that anniversary was also like some of the best. Gogeta, Broly, Beast Gohan, Gammas. Like, it was just that simple, right? Part 1 generated enough hype, and then part 2 generated even more hype with Beast Gohan, and the way that they handled that was one of the best ways that I think they handled an anniversary so far, because they maintained the hype within two parts of an anniversary. Although people did debate that part 2 was a lot better because the way that Beast Gohan genuinely dominated the game, which is a fair point, but you know, we don't really take into account dominance of units. Well, you kind of have to for anniversary, because if the anniversary units aren't even like top 5, you're like, is it really worth anniversary if the units aren't top 5? Which I guess is what's surprising people this anniversary, because from a lot of tier lists that I've seen, I don't personally indulge in any tier lists that people do. Like, I take multiple sources and I say, okay, let's look at all of them and let's judge, right? But from what I've seen, a lot of people have a consistent top 2, which is Goma and the STR Blues, right? It's kind of a given that's showing that the STR Blues have one of the better aging kits. I mentioned this in my video that I was talking about the animations of the two. Finally, we have showcasing units, all linked level 1 by the way. Tamagami 1 and 2. Finally, after what, like 17 minutes, I finally get to show the units. Yeah, but as I was saying, right, the way that they handled this anniversary could have been a bit better in the ordering of the units, because what were they thinking? Right, like, yes, Daima did come out like a whole 2 years ago, or 1 year ago. 1 year? Did it come out 24? 25? No, it came out 24. Yes, I think so. Yeah, but all I'm saying is, right, the timing of these units are very weird. Like, I think, in all retrospect, they always do this with, like, newer characters. Like, for example, Beast Gohan, right? One of my favorite of all time, the physical one, was technically so late for his time. Like, people are like, where's the Beast Gohan? Where's the Beast Gohan? And Dokkan announced, we're announcing new characters for Christmas, and everyone was like, or New Year's, and everyone was like, yay, yay, new units for the new year. And then people saw like an outline of Super Saiyan, not Super Saiyan, Beast Gohan, and they're like, yes, yes, we get a Beast Gohan. Like, this animation doesn't look bad, by the way. It's just that it does no damage. Alright, I think we'll cut to the next rotation because I would say, don't take this too seriously, but my top 5 from what I've seen is Goma, Blues, High Goku, Daima Goku, and Gohan and Trunks, the purple one, right? This Daima Vegeta, he's good, but he's very situational from what I've seen. Like, if he doesn't get EX super attacks, his hit does start to fall apart a bit because he does like need the additional supers to boost his defense and attack for 4 turns, right? Like, not... Wait, oh, these guys have OST changes, don't they? Does this not remind you guys of that one meme? Like... I can't... the meme... Forgot what it was, but there was a meme a while back that had a theme similar to this, but yeah. But the reason why, like, I think this anniversary may not have been as successful, part 1, is because of the overall placement of how everything was. For example, Daima Goku and Daima Vegeta. Daima Vegeta is a fun unit, right? His EX supers have a 50-50 coin flip, and you know, he's considered one of the funnest units in the game. Thing is though, right, Daima Vegeta is very situational. Like, even if he is consistent super attack giver, he doesn't get his... If he doesn't get his EX super, it's very situational, right? The other thing is Daima Goku. Now, not to be negative here, right, but Daima Goku has had a lot of hate pointed towards him this anniversary. And I think the sole reason is because of his key issue. Daima Goku has one of, you know, a similar issue, well, a similar ranked issue to Beast Gohan, where Beast Gohan struggled for ki, and he struggled for additional super attacks. The problem with this Goku is a bit similar, except in the fact that this Goku struggles for ki, and in some people's eyes, or some people's gameplay, he doesn't trigger his EX super at all. Like, people find it hard to trigger his EX super, and I can see a point in that, because I was running him in a easy A zone and I was link leveling him, right, and I think I went on a streak of 21 where he did not EX super at all for like 21 turns that he was in rotation. Like, now he got his EX super right, which is fine. Like, you know, I like this unit either way. He's very nice. I think he's very polished enough. He is anniversary worthy. Him and Daima Vegeta are anniversary worthy units. The only thing I can say is, should they have been part 2 units? Which is the big question, right? I think my thoughts is, yes, they probably should have been part 2 units. Like, okay, I get it. People complain like, oh, we didn't get Daima for like a whole year and a bit after it came out, right? And yes, people are warranted to say that, because I don't know what it is with Dokkan and their like gatekeeping of units. Like, they want to keep units for the big celebrations, right? Which, they're not in the wrong, right? They can do what they want, but it does kind of kick you in the face when you wait for, you know, a long time just to see units like Goku and wait, did we lose damage reduction? I think we did. We still tanked that pretty well. Yeah, but it becomes a problem when you release units a long time after their, you know, expectancy, like Daima, Goku and Vegeta, and they don't perform as well as you would have hoped them to. For example, I know I reference this guy a lot, but Physical Beast Gohan was literally like one of the most hated units in history because of his expectancy, and what he came out with was just, it was rough. It was very rough. Like, people hated that guy to the core. Like, well, I think this serves as a good enough showcase for Tamagami 1 and 2. Like, these 2 units are some of the best free-to-play units that we've ever gotten. But all I'm saying is, you know, don't be too sad that your favorite units, for example Daima and I gotta mute the music, it's copyright. Don't be too sad that your, you know, units don't have the best kits. Just, yeah, I think this showcase turned into something entirely different because I was talking about anniversary, but yeah, you know, guys, don't be too mad about, you know, things. To be honest, this time I can warrant it. Like, this is an anniversary. For the anniversary to be this dry is a bit questionable, to say the least. Like, at least release more missions or something. Right, we're literally sitting in a grave of, like, I don't even know what we're sitting in. We're sitting in like a weird ass place where it's just like, okay, we got 2 new units that we've been waiting forever for, but you know, they're not number 1, number 2, number 3, right? And it's a bit questionable, to say the least, of like, why did we wait so long for these units? Right, I'm not complaining about their animations, I'm complaining about what they were thinking. If these guys were part 2, I could see a lot less criticism being thrown their way. Although there was the case to be said about last year's SSJ2 Gohan and Goku and Frieza in part 2 being absolute dog water. People claimed that they were, but I quite liked the Goku and Frieza, but Frieza was dreadful, to say the least. Yeah, alright. I guess that's all I gotta say. Don't be too negative. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. And I'll be spending it on Dokkan. I hope your summons all go well. I hope we all have fun in this anniversary. And that's all I gotta say, to be honest. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. Remember to hydrate. See you guys next time. Bye bye.